beautiful people. It's Friday, the 17th of May, 2024. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. I was going to say, of course, we're hosted by the best, but there's only me in here. Definitely I am the best, of course, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the rest of my co-hosts are not here today, man. It's just me and Brent today. Brent, what are you saying? I can't hear you in the mic, you know.
Is the mic on? How about now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Morning, I'm fine, thank you. How are you and what's today's mathematics?
I'm alright, man. I'm alright. You know what? Yeah, I'm never one of those people who pretty much say I'm happy it's Friday, innit? Because I feel like you kind of work on the weekends anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But for some reason, I feel like I'm happy it's Friday. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's I'm gonna get a bit of a break in some capacity. Yeah, loads to do, man.
Tell us about it.
Well, I kind of mentioned it the other day briefly, but yeah, I'm just doing some work in the house, man. So it's requiring me to basically, I'm not at home, innit? So I'm having to travel further, still have to kind of, do the whole commute, take my little one to nursery, and then obviously come back here. So I'm going in traffic. I'm stuck in traffic in both directions, innit? This is why the times that I've come in this week, it's been mad late or just not at all because, like, for example, Friday, my ETA would have been like 9:40. Which is crazy, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, not Friday, Wednesday. And obviously I knew that you guys was going to end at 10 o'clock. So yeah, that just adds to it, innit? And
Hold up. There might be a little bit difficulties. Give me 1 second.
all right.
Is your face green?
I don't know. Okay.
You want to give your face?
Yes. 1 second, people.
Or like a notification. Yeah, there's a little glitch, and I'm trying to figure it out without ending the stream, because that would be very annoying. I've just updated my Mac, and I think that's what's causing the conflict. But, let's see if I do this. Okay. And this. All right. And it should be fixed now.
How's that working?
Better.
1 second. I forgot my headphones.
Just come here. All right, cool. Thank you very much.
Sorry for the confusion, people. But yes, we back.
So, is it going to be more of the same next week? How many weeks?
Nah. So hopefully, well, it was meant to be done like, when they plan it and all that sort of stuff here, like either today or Monday. But there was delays when they first started in the first week. And we got further delays with some deliveries. Like it's crazy how certain companies are kind of incompetent, And you think to yourself, okay, we ordered something from here. Maybe it's just one company that's kind of messed up certain things. But like from 3 different companies that I've ordered certain things from, there's been issues. So it's just crazy. So long story short, I've had to get some replacements, and stuff like that. So that kind of just added more to it. But hopefully, I'll say middle of next week, everything should be calm. So yeah, man. That's pretty much it. So yeah, it's just a lot of up and down, man. So yeah.
What are you going to be doing this weekend? I heard there might be some a little bit of enjoyment.
Is it? Oh, what, the fight?
No, is Moses doing something this weekend?
No, I think you're talking about the fight. We're
No.
just watching the
It's
fight.
a fight.
Yeah.
Is that what he asked for the t-shirts for?
Oh no, I don't know about that. You know?
Oh, then never mind. It's
Yeah, I don't know about
different
that.
people. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
What fight is it?
Fury Usyk, man.
Oh, is
The
it
big
this
one.
week?
Yeah,
This weekend?
Yeah. Saturday, tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we get to the
Rep
thing, I'm
show.
gonna ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be an extremely short show today, because there's nobody here and we have a lot to do today. So we're gonna give you the headlines. We're gonna give you the topic of the day, and if you all want to call in, you all can. If not, then forever hold your tongue. Let me say good morning to everybody, please. Before we begin, good morning, Black Mara. Good morning, TT. Good morning, C. Is it C91? Yeah, C91. Good morning, Lewis Williams, Davina, DCF Mooks, G Love, Christy. Good morning, Danielle. Good morning, Everest. Good morning, T. Good morning, Marie K. Good morning, Andrew Archibald. Good morning, Abby Apia. Good morning, Izzy Bambino, Lauren Louise. I hope y'all have already purchased your tickets to the I Love Live event next week. I'm going to put the link in the chat box. Let me just find it. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. UK Black Specific. That's the link. Oops. And God willing, I'll be there, but Margs will definitely be there. So if it is that you want to buck your favorite killie, he's gonna be there. It's gonna be an enjoyable night. Fantastic acts, good atmosphere, good people, good music. What else could you bloody ask for?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's next week Tuesday. Here's the link. Pew. All right, there you go. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna pin it actually. Let me just pin that. All right, cool. Let me continue the morning greetings. Who else is there? Good morning, Fanan. Good morning, Crucial J. Good morning, Gin and Gist. I'm still waiting for you to be in the studio. Weren't you supposed to come and give somebody something and then stay for a guest host appearance? Or am I just making it up? Good morning, Dr. Amani. Good morning, Dr. Amani. See you next week. Really looking forward to that conversation. Good morning, Star Crew. Good morning, Powwow. Good morning, Grand Rising. Good morning, Ghana Greatness. Good morning, Lala. Good morning, Buja. I need to know how to pronounce that last name. That last name looks good. It looks interesting, but I need to know how to pronounce that. I'm not attempting it. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning, Amy Snow Globe. Good morning, SLM86. Good morning, L. And I think that is it.
All right.
Let's get this show cracking.
All right, so our first headline, a watchdog has ruled that Conservative minister broke expenses rules by using public resources to produce overtly political material for the Tories. So the pensions minister, Paul Maynard, who's the MP for Blackpool North and Cleverleys, said that he had paid back £1,367 for using a state-of-the-art printer. The IPSA, which is the Independent Parliamentary Standards Authority, said that Mr. Maynard had rectified by making a payment to the watchdog. A down the street source told the BBC that Mr. Maynard had made a mistake, but Labour called him to be removed from his government role. In a report that was published on Thursday, external IPSA investigators said that the printer should have been used for constituency work, but had been used for campaign material. IPSA also found that Mr. Maynard had underreported use of his constituency office by his local Conservative Party association. Our next headline, trigger warning on this one, guys, and a Texas governor, Greg Abbott, has pardoned a man convicted of killing a Black Lives Matter protester in 2020. It's a bit of a long one. Daniel Perry was an ex-US Army sergeant He was moonlighting as an Uber driver in Austin when he turned on to a street where demonstrators were marching. Garrett Foster, one of the protesters, approached the vehicle carrying a rifle, and Perry shot him dead. Perry said that he acted in self-defense, but he was convicted by a jury and sentenced to 25 years in prison. Foster, who was 28 years old, was a former U.S. Air Force mechanic, was openly carrying an AK-47 semi-automatic assault rifle, something that is legal under Texas law. At the time of the confrontation, this was 25th of July 2020. He was white, and so was Perry. So both of these people are white people. Perry, now 37, had no passenger in his taxi, and said that some of the demonstrators who had gathered in the wake of the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis and Minnesota began banging on his car. The protesters said that they feared the vehicle might ram them. So during the trial, Perry's lawyers argued that Foster raised his rifle, a claim that some witnesses disputed. Perry lowered his window and shot Foster 5 times with a .357 revolver before driving off. He called 911 shortly afterwards. So the case became a rallying point for conservatives, and Governor Abbott previously said that he would pardon Perry as soon as he received an official request. Perry was convicted of murder in April of 2023. So Governor Abbott said in a statement, referring to Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza, who was a Democrat, by the way, said that Texas had one of the strongest stand-your-ground laws of self-defense that cannot be nullified by a jury or a progressive district attorney. Stand your ground, for those who don't know, these are laws that generally permit an individual to use force, including deadly force, right, against somebody if they believe that person is about to commit murder or other serious crimes. And our last headline brings us back to Europe, where Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, has been struck by several drones during the country's longest air raid alert since Russia launched its invasion. The regional governor said that at least 5 Russian drones had hit the northeastern city late on Thursday. The mayor, Ihor Terekhov, said that the city's district had been attacked, which triggered a fire. It's unclear whether there had been any casualties. And that's pretty much it for our headlines. Let's get into the topic of the day, Brent.
All right, so Star Crew has politely asked me to retire his greeting. So I am going to retire the greeting.
He's not a wake and baker, Brent.
I don't know why as I started it with that. Oh, I said it sounded like he was. The crow stuff, innit?
Okay.
So I started it, so I'll finish it.
Maybe move it to Crud Crow, innit?
There's already a crud crew, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't do that for Crud Crow.
I don't think he wants that. And his first name, I don't know if it is that he would take kindly to me looking to give him a name. I don't think he wants seconds. No. But
right.
Retired, pour a little liquor out for that. Rest in peace. All right, let's move on to topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day is going to be a light one, yeah. I feel like it's going to be kind of straightforward, but I am kind of interested to kind of get what people in the chat kind of think about it. So maybe Brent's AI can do a poll, but only give like 2 options or 2 or 3 option max, just so that, you know, we don't get people sitting on the fence too much. But this is basically just a dilemma that somebody sent to The Guardian, yeah. While I was minding my business, I saw this and I thought, oh, you know what, let me ask the people. So basically this is what the lady says, right? I'm getting married next year for various reasons, including his treatment of me and my siblings. I do not want my father at my wedding, right? If he's there, he will ruin the day by shouting at me for some perceived transgression. He holds grudges like no one else I've ever met, and he doesn't accept who I am. He refuses to acknowledge I am disabled and thinks I'm making it all up for attention. He has not met my fiancée, and I have no intention of introducing them. Yeah. The difficulty is that my mother and my brother live with him. I'm very close to my brother, and I desperately want both of them to attend. I worry my father will either invite himself or create such a row that neither feels able to come to the wedding, right? They both know I'm getting married, but my father does not know. I have no idea what I can do to make sure my wedding isn't ruined. What do I do? How do I ensure my father doesn't come to my wedding, but my mother and my brother do?
All right, so let me get this right.
Yes.
There's a woman getting married,
Yes.
and she has a father she doesn't live with.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a birth father, right?
Correct.
A father born. And he is he's abusive. She perceives him as abusive.
Yeah.
And
Definitely verbally anyway.
verbally abusive.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he kind of leans in on is the fact that she calls herself disabled, but he doesn't believe it.
Yes.
Do you know what that disability is?
She doesn't make mention.
Is there an article?
Yeah, but she doesn't talk about her disability
At all?
No. That's all the information she gives.
Because the fathers could sound like you. The father could be you right now.
To be fair.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So she wants to invite the mother and her sibling, but doesn't want the father to know or to come along because he might look to come and ruin the wedding. And that's a possibility.
Yeah.
He might come and he might invite himself and ruin the wedding.
Yes. You'll start talking to her about certain things. Maybe. Yeah, maybe she's coming up the hour in a wheelchair, and he feels like, wait a minute, what is this?
It can't be wheelchair. It can't
Something
be.
else. Yeah, exactly.
It can't because he's denying that she's disabled.
Yes.
So it can't be something obvious.
Yes.
Well, it can be, but she hasn't told us that the father's because he still has the wife and the child, and they're living with him. And he's looking after them well enough.
Yep.
Yeah. So she wants advice as to how to get the mother and her sibling there without telling the father. That's the question?
Basically. Do you feel like she's trying to say the dad is that controlling that whenever the mum leaves the house, he knows where she is? Especially if they're leaving together. It's like, I mean, you can leave an hour apart, innit? If you really want to be there. Because why does he have to know that you went? You know what I mean? Like...
So is this essentially sis, what would you do, or like asking for a friend, right?
Basically, yeah.
It's so interesting how you made this topic of the day. What can she do?
By the way, while we're thinking about that, I asked ChatGPT for examples of disability that people may deny are real disabilities, right? Chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS, right?
As in always tired?
Yeah, many people misunderstand or downplay the severity of this condition, attributing it to laziness or lack of motivation, rather than recognizing that it's legit.
No, the lack of iron is a thing.
Yeah, but a disability. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell me, I'm tired, like, there's something in me, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel motivated. I just can't move. Somebody from a certain generation may think, this ain't no disability. You just need a bit more
iron.
Something. Yeah, but not a disability. I can give you a tablet for it. Get up and let's go. You know what I mean? Somebody might think that.
Yeah, but someone who doesn't have access to the iron tablets, or if they've run out, surely it, 100% it should be deemed a disability, you know? Even if it's temporary disability.
But if she's telling me, not me, but if she's telling the dad, I've got a disability, and it's just a case of taking iron tablets, you've diagnosed yourself with a disability.
Yeah, I think what you're doing now is just having a disability sound like the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
and it not be levels of it. So, like me not having, one could say it's like a stigma, isn't it? My perfect eyesight.
Yeah,
and I don't have any glasses. I am disabled. I am not as another person is with the ability to see clearly and walk and do that. I am impaired in some form of fashion. So it depends on how it is that you even deem disability, because you're thinking the extreme, right? Completely immobilized, not able to do this and the next, but the different levels and severities of disabilities.
Yes, but, all right, listen to this here. She says, he refuses to acknowledge I am disabled and thinks I'm making it all up for attention, right?
So he thinks that she's a wokarati.
Exactly.
But I don't think this matters at all. Or I'm only stretching it only because there is nothing here for me to talk about.
All right. So if it's you, God forbid, right? You're in that situation. What do you do?
What?
To get your mum and brother there and your dad stay at home?
I guess I guess the mother could say that she's taken the son swimming or to see his friend for a party or something like that, and then just go to the wedding.
Yeah.
Something that the dad's not interested in, or maybe wait on a day where there's football on and say, all right, cool, I'm taking him shopping, like in Tesco or whatever, and have that be when it is that you attend the wedding and you get back.
Yeah. Don't you feel like maybe the best situation long term is to basically just tell you that I don't want him to be there?
No, I don't think she cares too much about that, because what does it mean telling him I'm going to get married if it is that you have a fear that he's going to do something crazy, right? Don't even let him know when it is, because it sounds like the fear has metastasized so much that he might turn up and do something. That's what's a present, an active thought in her head, right? So don't tell him. I mean, you're already here, innit?
Yeah.
You're already in this particular world in which you have a disability that you believe is real, but your father doesn't, right? She didn't say the mother doesn't. She didn't say the brother doesn't believe. She said the father doesn't. So, yeah, do as I say and find something that your mother could take your son to during those, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours and get it banged out.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Before we move on, though, would you consider back pain, migraines, irritable bowel syndrome a disability?
Back pain?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I told you. It's how I see
how you
disability.
see it.
I don't just have it as the severest case.
Yeah. I guess with a lot of these things, though, man, it's just...
What's the definition of disability? And why does it vex you so much when people might call something like a back pain, a chronic back pain, a disability?
No. It doesn't at all. Because the thing is, yeah, it might legit be a disability, but I think it's also how people perceive the word disability. If you tell me you got a disability, people expect that, okay, cool.
I think it's different when I say I'm disabled. If I say, I got a disability, if I say I'm disabled, you'll laugh at me.
But this is what she said.
She said she's disabled?
I'm disabled, yeah. He refuses to acknowledge... Let me get the word for word first. He refuses to acknowledge I am disabled and thinks I'm making it all up for attention.
All right. Define disabled. That's why I said he sounds like you.
All right, cool.
That's why I said when I say that, you will laugh at me.
Yeah, but why would I laugh at you, though?
Because you would perceive it as, look at this weak.
But, no, I wouldn't say weak.
This weak phony. Describe disability.
All right, so Googling
and then
it,
describe,
it says,
define disabled.
All right, let me do disabled first. Impaired or limited by a physical, mental, cognitive, or developmental condition. Disability, I hope it doesn't just say somebody who's disabled. Hold on a second. A physical or mental impairment which has substantial and long-term adverse effect on a person's ability to carry out normal day-to-day activities. Yeah.
I'm fine with that particular language. I think it's how it is that we were brought up.
Exactly.
But
this is
limited
what I'm talking
understanding
about.
of what a disability is or being called disabled is.
But this is why I'm trying to see it from the dad's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Why, like, you know what I'm saying? He will think this is just fake. Because if it is something that he can't see, which is unlikely is the case, he's going to mock it. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's not just that. I think she mentioned something about her lifestyle or something.
Let me see. I don't think she mentioned the lifestyle. Let me read it. Hold on a sec.
What was the end part of that?
Making it all up for attention. He's not met my fiance and I have no intention of introducing them. He holds grudges like no one else I've ever met and doesn't accept who I am.
There. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what pisses him off the most. That's what I said. He sounds like you.
This guy. But the who I am might be the disabled part. It might not be any additional issue. You know what I mean? It might just... Because the very next sentence says, he refuses to acknowledge I'm disabled. You know what I mean?
I don't understand the correlation.
No, the who I am part. Yeah, I'm thinking that you're basically saying it's maybe some lifestyle choice, right? That the dad is so old school, he doesn't accept it's her. In addition to the fact that she's disabled, rather than
I thought you were saying that who I am was connected to her disability.
no, that's what I'm thinking it's saying. But I thought you were saying something else.
Never mind.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, man. All right. Quickly, obviously, you know, the article would give like their response in it. So this person basically responds to this person. It's basically says, "I'm sorry your dad doesn't behave in a way that means he deserves to be at your wedding. You might hear that you should just let him come because go on, it's family. Don't. Start your marriage the way you mean to go on. That shouldn't include doing things you don't want just to appease others. You asked a practical question. How can you make sure he doesn't come while your mother and father do? Sometimes I think we seek advice in these hard moments because we're hoping there's a secret solution that we haven't thought of. We've looked at the problem, but all we see is a small set of possible solutions, and they all seem high conflict or painful or risky. So we pass the problem to someone else, hoping that they can provide some secret pathway that doesn't require that conflict or risk of pain. Frustratingly often, there's no secret way out. When there are difficult problems, our options tend to shrink. We're left with binaries where both options suck. Tell them or don't. Have the conflict or keep expecting the problem. End of menu."
Somebody sent in a good question. Good morning. Could it be a mental disability like ADHD? Because you don't believe in that stuff. Bipolar, where it's not visible or constantly apparent.
Firstly, I never said I don't believe in ADHD. I know it's real.
You said it's like it's just running like water these days out of people's mouths.
Oh no, it definitely is though. You know what I'm saying? Because do you remember a lot of people are out here self-diagnosing themselves? You know what I'm saying? If the doctor said it, then that's what you got. That's what you are, whatever it is, innit? You know what I'm trying to say?
Incredible.
But if you are somebody that feels like, you know what, wait a minute, I just can't focus on certain things for long enough and this, that, and the third, and you just self-diagnosing, that doesn't work with me, innit? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't really care. That's your lifestyle choice. It doesn't affect me in any capacity.
It doesn't work with you. It's your choice though.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just being frank. You know what I'm saying? Like if you tell me that, I basically have a choice to accept its legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? But if a doctor tells me or tells you and you've told me what the doctor's saying, I accept it because the doctor is a professional. You know what I'm saying? Like we have professionals for reasons. That's
So
what I'm
you
saying.
would then accept it if the doctor says it?
Of course. Like most things in life. You know what I'm saying? We got a call.
Can you call back, please? I've now activated the phone.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I'm seeing it.
Good morning.
Morning, bro. Morning. You know, we got same.
Yo,
All right, I'm less than highly favored. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, brother. I'm alright, man.
Nice to hear your voice, man.
Yeah, I know it's been some time, man. Apologies.
Oh, it's all right. I forgive you.
Talk to us.
I think that problem is easy.
Tell us.
Like, you ain't invited, man. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, but it's not just
He's
that.
not invited.
It's not just that. It's more so I want to make sure my mum and brother come. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't invite them, but the dad's not coming.
Yeah, but he'll turn up.
Speak to the. He ain't turning up. It's not happening. Obviously, I don't understand. I don't understand what relationship the mum and the brother may have with the dad. So if you just talk to them and just make them aware of the fact that you're not going to invite him and he isn't going to know any details, then that's it. The only way he will find out the details is either from the mother or the brother. So as long as you are emphatic in the way that you just tell him, look, I don't want him to come, please don't divulge any information, then hopefully he won't get there. But there's no point. The wedding is for her. It's for her and her significant other. There's no point trying to appease anyone else. So I think as long as they stress that to the family members, then that's all that matters. and possibly maybe share it with anyone else that has communication with the dad.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? Like, he holds grudges, he makes a scene, he doesn't believe that she's disabled, whatever disability she may have, invisible or visible. Who cares, innit? She obviously feels uncomfortable.
Mm. I hear you, but what if they live in I guess in a household where it's like, cool, the dad and the mom don't hide certain things from each other. They're kind of open about certain things. It's just that they really disagree on, I guess, his treatment of her and her brother. You know what I'm saying? Because the mom might feel some type of way about lying to her husband.
That's what I was just about to say. There's a very big difference between lying and omitting. Okay. So if she doesn't bring up the subject, or the wife doesn't broach the subject of the wedding, then she doesn't have to lie to her husband.
But you understand that you may see a big difference there, innit? But many people see it as that's just lying. So what if the mum sees it as lying?
Then I don't know. I think she would have to have a serious conversation with the mum and just say the whole day has the potential to be ruined. And just on the case of whether you perceive it as a lie, there will be, not only is it emotionally straining to set a wedding up, financially we're at a loss because the whole day will be spoiled. So they're not going to only spoil it for the guests that we've invited. They will spoil it for the only special day that she wanted to have with her husband or spouse or whatever.
Yeah.
They just got to weigh out the options, and I don't know. I'm more of a, if she can't do that and the mum isn't ready, then don't invite the mum.
Yeah, I hear you. Someone's got to
if there's a leak, because he sounds insane. For you said shouts and stuff, right?
It basically gave that impression. Yeah,
like he makes a scene, he shouts. He sounds insane. So I definitely don't want that on my wedding.
Yeah, she said if he's there, he will ruin the day by shouting at me for some perceived transgression. Yeah.
Perceived because he holds a grudge. So I'm assuming that he would bring up old baggage out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, then let me think about it. So worst case scenario, if he was to go to the wedding, I guess it depends on how he does it. And I just thought of some crazy old man shouting over the dinner table while someone's making a speech or something. But if he just goes to her and scolds her over something that she did, then I don't know whether she can eat that or not. But why should she at the end of the day? It's her wedding, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Makes sense. I hear you. Thank you, Ramsey.
No worries, man. All right, love.
Safe.
Have a blessed weekend.
All right, you too, man. Peace.
All right. I think we can move on from there, man.
Yep, nailed it.
All right, guys. So this next headline, to be fair, on a different day, this could have been topic of the day. So trigger warning, big trigger warning to you guys, or for you guys. A court has heard that a teacher made a naked attempt to garner sympathy, bringing a baby bonnet to court that belonged to a child fathered by one of the teenagers she's accused of having sex with. Hope that makes sense, all right? So Rebecca Joins continues to deny allegations that she had sex with one schoolboy, boy A, and insists in court that her relationship with a second teenager, boy B, only began once he left school. And obviously she'd been fired from her job. So it wasn't illegal. That's what she's saying. The 30-year-old appeared in Manchester Crown Court yesterday with a pink baby's bonnet visibly tucked into her trousers. And why did she do that? Because that baby bonnet belonged to the child that she's got with boy B. Yeah. So talking about the baby bonnet, the prosecutor Joe Ullman told the jury in his closing speech that was a pretty naked attempt to garner your sympathy. He said that jurors would not have a shred of sympathy for the teacher if she was a man, and added she's aware of the optics here. She's not stupid. Is Miss Joins more shrewd than she's letting on? Jurors heard that both boys sent Joins flirty Snapchat messages and hid the interactions from their parents. It was alleged that she took boy A shopping and bought him a £350 Gucci belt before they went to Joins' flat. So I'm laughing at something else, people. Where they had sex. This is what the court was told, right? So basically, they went out, took him shopping, boy A, bought him a Gucci belt, went back to her flat, did the deed, etc., etc. The teenager's semen was recovered from her bedsheet by police, right? Boy B claims that sexual activity began when he was 15, right? With kissing and full sex when he was 16, and still a pupil. This is what boy B is saying. And boy B, by the way, is the father of her child, yeah? And this same teacher, Miss Jones, denies 6 counts of sexual activity with the child, including 2 while being a person in a position of trust.
Why is there a rising spate of these bloody animals in the news recently?
Insane, isn't it? I have no idea.
Has she been named and shamed?
Yeah, that's her name, Rebecca Joynes. Rebecca Joynes, she's 30 years old. She's saying it never happened. Yeah, while the boy... Can you imagine the technicality? I was fired, so I wasn't a teacher. And he just left school. So it wasn't illegal. This is insane. You just made this boy a father. You guys know what I mean.
But tell me something. These people must be bat-ish crazy before they get admitted to the teaching board, right? The teaching association. They must be, right? How can you kind of sift them out? There must be some sort of test that they can do to see if it is that you are...
This is it. But yeah. But I guess teaching is one of them jobs where the impression I get is that it's everyone kind of complains about they don't get paid enough, they're overworked. It's not really a desirable profession like that, innit?
So you're saying
they're trying to
they're just recruiting anybody?
Not anybody, but I don't think the threshold is as high as it could be. You know what I mean? Like for letting these people in. Sad, man. Sad, just ruined it. And imagine, look what she goes to court with the baby bonnet in her trousers. She's an animal. Complete animal. But yes, our next headline, and this is about Baby Reindeer. Obviously, I've not seen it, so Brent, this will make more sense to you and the people that have seen it. So the MPs have got involved, man. So John Nicholson, right, is an MP, and he pretty much will ask Netflix to substantiate what it told the parliamentary committee about the woman alleged to have inspired the character Martha from the hit show Baby Reindeer. Giving evidence before the Culture, Media and Sport Committee last week, Netflix executive Benjamin King said that the show was obviously a true story of the horrific abuse that the writer and the protagonist, Richard Gadd, suffered at the hands of a convicted stalker. But Nicholson believes that the evidence that Netflix gave may have been inaccurate, knowingly misleading the committee is contempt of Parliament. So the SNP MP told the BBC that it's clear that the evidence given by Netflix to the select committee is disputed. He also added that the charge made of a conviction is very important. Journalists can find no evidence to back up the Netflix claim. Fiona Harvey, and I saw a clip of her, I haven't seen the interview, but I saw a clip of her on Piers Morgan show, and she's identified herself as the woman portrayed as Martha in the store, as Martha the stalker in that particular series, right? But neither Netflix or Richard Gadd has confirmed this. Harvey says that she has not been convicted of stalking and denied stalking Richard Gadd as well. Does that make any difference to you? Firstly, to be fair, you may need to know maybe about this lady's real life and stuff, innit? But if they've made this show and they've said the woman in the show is not her, can they get away with this? Because she's basically saying, no, that's definitely me. But they lied. So, you know what I'm saying? They've added a lot of sauce onto this. And they're telling the world that I'm bloody convicted stalker. It's fake.
Well, how she was found is because people cross-reference the tweets. Is it the tweets? The messages that was online in the public sphere with stuff that she had actually also tweeted, as in the real woman. So to suggest as though they can just say, oh, it wasn't you, I don't know if that's plausible. I think any lawyer with his or her weight in salt, gold, or whatever other metric could win that case.
What about the whole it's loosely based on a true story?
After they said that it's a true story?
Oh, they've said flat out it's a true story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they said that they embellished a few things, but they said it's a true story.
Okay.
That was the strap line. And this guy, he acted in his own lived experience.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So to suggest as though they can just say, nah, it's not. Sorry. Especially when it is that she's not gone and Piers Morgan. It's been one of the most viral conversations in history. There's no dialogue after the fact. She was never in jail. Well, she says she's never in jail, and they've checked. She's never been in jail. But yeah, it's a true story. So I think she has a case. Even if it is her, and she did send those 4,000 odd emails, right? She still has a case because you said it's a true story.
Yeah.
And she's been harassed now. She's been like doxxed and stuff. You know, she's doing club appearances. She's getting paid to go.
Do you feel like they should throw this out then? Because she's benefiting.
This is why I said you like the dad.
Why? I don't understand.
What are you saying?
What? You can't say it's me, say it's not accurate, but you're benefiting the proceeds that people think is accurate. I'm only inviting you to my club because I think it's accurate. Yet you're telling the world it's not accurate.
Would you take advantage of the opportunity?
Oh, I most definitely
If
would.
somebody has slandered you, libel, left, right, and center, and people are saying, hey, we still think it's you. I'm going to give you a few bags to just make an appearance. You don't have to touch down, get a drink, and you're off.
To be fair, it depends on what the libel is, though. It depends on what they're saying about me. If it's something crazy,
like what happened? That's what
I don't know what happened though. Like with her,
because you haven't.
Yeah, I've not
She
seen
just
it.
stalked the guy, and she abused his girlfriend,
like abusing what? Like beat her up.
beat her up.
Oh man,
Yeah, she made his life hell.
I think Marks was saying that he kind of caused it. Is that true? He kind of brought certain things on himself.
He entertained her because she was giving him the validation he needed.
Oh, so he's no disrespect, but he's of a certain level as well.
Of what?
No, I said no disrespect.
Of
like,
what?
Like he needed that sort of validation from her.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He was getting it from nobody else, and
Mm.
but he also got gripped by
You got what?
gripped.
Okay, by her.
No, by an agent, a male agent in the TV industry.
Okay. Oh, so wait. Because you said something earlier. You said something about how he lived his own experience. Was the real guy acting?
Yes.
Serious?
Yes.
So he's a real writer. He's really in the industry.
He's a real comedian, but he's not a good comedian.
Oh, serious?
Yes.
Okay. This is interesting.
Yes.
In the show, does he talk about the agent doing stuff to him? Or is this like it's just
It's
additional?
shown
Oh,
in a
serious?
very, very graphic way. It was very disturbing.
This is mad.
But he went back to that agent after he got gripped because
He needed.
he wanted the access, and he was questioning sexuality throughout everything. He had slept with men, with women, all sorts, and
Because of this
and
paper.
he fell in love with a new gen woman.
Oh, serious.
Yeah.
All of this is in the show.
All of it. And it's a true story. And that's
Is this America or is this based here?
it's Britain.
This is.
She was
Okay.
Scottish. He was also Scottish, I believe, but he didn't have a strong enough accent.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a good watch.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a good conversation.
Okay. Well, that's what's going on, guys. Now, last headline. Trigger warning on this one, I believe, as well. And the BBC have they've done their investigations and whatnot, and they found that thousands of children in England with complex needs are missing out on support as councils fail to meet care plan deadlines, right? So councils have a legal time limit of 20 weeks in most cases to issue education, health and care plan, the EHCP, after parents or schools ask for one. So BBC News have found that 8 councils met the deadline in fewer than 5% of cases from to December last year. Councils say growing demand and insufficient funding caused all these delays. And an EHCP, like I said, education, health and care plan, sets out the extra help that a child may need to access education on top of what is available through special needs support. So examples of extra support might include one-to-one lesson time or help to learn at home for those with such complex needs that school is unsuitable. So that's what's going on, guys. And that's it for those headlines. Time to pay the bills. What is it?
Gin and Gist, the person who lies about her coming to places. She wants me to provide more context because it's important. Context is always important. The guy who got raped, the agent plied him with drugs. And he knew that he got plied with drugs. He liked the drugs,
After the
by
fact,
the way.
though.
No, he accepted the drugs.
Okay.
It wasn't a mistake. He accepted it, but he didn't know he was going to get...
Oh, okay.
And then when he realized that was the case, he went back afterwards. So that's context for you. She thinks it's going to change your mind or opinion on it. Look at his face, Gin and Gist.
I'm thinking about something else. But yeah, man, this is it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, man. What, should I go straight to the next headline, or do you want to press this? All right, guys. So our next headline, you know, there's a lot of stuff in these headlines that's kind of like you got to tread carefully. A lot of people are doing certain things, but anyway, an NFL star has courted controversy by telling female graduates that one of their most important roles in life will be homemaker. People find this controversial today, right? So Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker also criticized abortion and LGBT pride marches in a speech at Benedictine College in Kansas, right? His team has not reached to the three-time Super Bowl champs comments. So his team has not reacted, I should say. Right, the NFL pretty much said it was a personal matter. So nearly 160,000 people have signed a petition for the 28-year-old's firing. So in his 20-minute address last Saturday, he said to women graduates at the Catholic private college that they had been told the most diabolical lies. Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, he said. But I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. Butker added that his wife's life had truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. He added that Isabel Butker, his wife, had embraced one of the most important titles of all, homemaker. Speaking about his marriage, he appeared to become emotional. His speech also attacked IVF, surrogacy, degenerate cultural values, dangerous gender ideologies, and the tyranny of diversity, equity, and inclusion. By the way, all of those is his words, all in quotation marks, right? He also said, in reference to President Joe Biden, that our nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but has been so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies. The Football League distanced itself from the remarks, saying that they were given in his personal capacity. His views are not those of the NFL. Next headline. I was going to say something about that, but I'm just going to relax, man. Next headline. Prosecutions of sub-postmasters by the Department for Work and Pensions could be tainted, as Sky News reveals that officials worked with and now discrediting post office investigators to secure how they secured their convictions. So around 100 prosecutions of post office staff were led by the Department for Work and Pensions between 2001 and 2006. It's also understood that these usually involve the cashing in of stolen order books. The post office, for those who don't know, itself wrongly prosecuted hundreds of sub-postmasters between 1999 and 2015 based on evidence from the faulty Horizon accounting system. And our last headline, this is about some players in Australia's A-League, football players, who basically got arrested for alleged illegal betting. So 3 players from an Australian football club have been arrested for allegedly manipulating the number of yellow cards that they received in several A-League matches last year. Investigations found a senior player at Macarthur FC was allegedly taking instruction from a man believed to be in South America to organize players taking yellow cards during the matches for money. Right, this is what the police are saying. Yellow cards were allegedly manipulated during games on the 24th of November 2023 and also on the 9th of December 2023. Failed attempts were allegedly made to manipulate yellow cards during games on the 20th of April 2024 and also on the 4th of May 2024. The players who were not identified are expected to be charged with engaging in conduct that corrupts a betting outcome of an event. There was something else I wanted to read out to the people quickly before we move on. And this is just some updates back home. So basically Chad have now got a new president. So yeah, Chad's Constitutional Council has upheld the results of the nation's presidential election that declared the interim military leader Macarthur Déby the winner. It also rejected challenges by two losing candidates on the 6th of May elections. The Central African country's electoral body declared General Déby the winner of the election with 61% of the vote, with his closest rival, Prime Minister Success Masra, polling at 19%. Mr. Masra had disputed the result, claiming that his victory had been stolen from the people. Some opposition candidates had also alleged irregularities on polling day. The exclusion of 10 politicians who were eyeing the top job by the Constitutional Council had sparked allegations of foul play. But yeah, Chad becomes the first of the countries where the military seized power in West and Central Africa in recent years to hold elections and restore civilian rule. General Déby is 40 years old and he was installed as interim leader by the Chad military after his father, Idris Déby, was killed on the front line by rebels back in 2021 at the age of 28. So his victory basically means that the 34 rule of that Déby family will continue, and it legitimizes his grip on power. And the last thing I wanted to mention is, and I'm glad that they stopped this, there was plans of a mass wedding in Nigeria. So a planned, trigger warning in fact, a planned mass wedding of 100 orphans in Nigeria has been cancelled following widespread public concerns about the welfare of those involved. So the wedding that was set for the end of this month was sponsored by a speaker of the National Assembly in the largely Muslim northwestern state of Niger. And it involved orphans who had lost family members during attacks by armed gangs. Critics have expressed concern that some girls may be underage or being forced to comply for financial gain. Nigeria's Women's Affairs Minister, Mrs. Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, condemned the plan and said that she would seek a court injunction to stop the ceremony. Human rights activists in Nigeria have also launched a petition to stop the plan. So following the public outrage, the speaker had announced his withdrawal from the ceremony as well. But the Imams Forum of Niger said that the marriage ceremony should go ahead on the 24th of May, insisting that the girls are not underage. The age of the girls were not immediately known. But yeah, it's basically what's happened. And that is pretty much it for all our headlines. Time to pay them bills, Brent.
All right. Did you hear that story yesterday? Our Peru's president signed a decree declaring transgender people mentally ill.
No, I didn't hear that, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Question.
Yes.
If you had a viewpoint and you looked to your left and your right and the people who stood with you were people aligned to things you didn't agree with on whole, right? On mass. Would you start questioning whether you're in the right camp or not?
Depends what it is. If it's something that I have surface level knowledge of, then I may do, yeah. If I feel like I've studied it extensively, then no. Because I feel like there'll probably be scholars and people who are very well versed in that particular area who are backing up my ideas as well. You know what I'm saying? And the people beside me may not know what they're talking about.
No, but they still agree with you. They have the same viewpoint. So they're all in your camp.
Okay.
Whether it is that they've read up on whatever they're talking about or not.
Oh, I thought we had different views.
No.
Okay, cool. Say again.
Let's just say I am here and you're here.
Yeah.
Right? And what we are saying, there are a lot of people saying this particular thing.
Okay.
Or moving into or transitioning into this particular mindset. And we're making arguments to suggest times have changed, right? And you're over there and you have, let's say, 1/10 of the makeup, the 1/10 of the choir, and your left to your left to your right, they hold certain views that are wild that you may not necessarily subscribe to. Would you start questioning whether you're in the right camp or not, just off the back of that?
It depends.
And Brent is over here.
Yeah.
Steven's over here.
Yeah. But it depends what it is. It depends what it is. The reason why I'm saying is because I don't agree with anybody on the planet about everything. Not one person on the planet. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be things that I disagree with about certain things. And it's just one of those, it's just one of those political philosophy sort of situations where you're trying to, I guess, provide something that everyone can kind of somewhat subscribe to, but there are compromises that everyone has to make. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm trying to find out is whether you would pause and reflect based on the optics.
Oh, so not based on my personal...
No. You have a personal...
Yeah.
You have a take.
Yeah.
And before you have the take, you don't know who's to your left and to your right. So let's just say you have blinkers on.
Okay.
Right? And when the blinkers come off, you look to your left and your right, and the people who are standing to your left and your right, they are known wild takers.
Cool. Okay, cool.
And I'm over here, Steven's over here. Would it cause you to pause and be like, wait a minute?
Yeah, I'll ask, did I hear the question? That's what I'll do. Did I hear the question correctly? Or I'll ask everyone around me, did you hear the question?
So, you would doubt yourself.
I mean, yeah, until...
This is interesting.
I don't know if it will be a case of me doubting myself. It will be, like I said, are we talking about the same thing? Say it again. Let me make sure. Only because sometimes people can be... Yeah, I don't know. It depends. But again, I feel like I just repeat myself. It depends on what it is, though. If it's something that for example, I stand firm on, I don't care who's around me. I don't care if I'm left alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for me, this is something I believe. I don't care if I'm alone at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I would have done extensive thinking about it. You know what I'm saying?
I reckon that regardless of what the conversation is, I reckon I would always be on the side of the right, whether it's a few people around me or the masses. I reckon I'll be on the side of the right.
Yeah, but what?
The right side, the right side of humanity, right?
No, what does that mean?
All right, so I know it sounds wild for me to say that without specifying like a few examples, 100%. But let's do that before we move on. Like a couple of examples, right? So when it comes to the gender ideology and this when it comes to gender roles, right? And we'll get into this, God willing, next week. I think it'll be a great conversation to have with the whole, should we, get rid of the whole gender role stuff.
All right.
Right? I believe, because of how I'm like, look, I care less about what these people do with their lives, right? So I'm not even looking to basically argue about this, that, and the next. I'm like, hey, what if run it? Run it. So in that particular exchange, that's not a hill for me.
Yeah.
But it's a hill for you.
It depends though. Because some things that you say, for example, you may not care about. Because you may not see it like, okay, cool, it affects me directly or even indirectly at all, right? But some things I may think, okay, cool, what does this lead on to? Would they start teaching this to schools? I finished school ages ago, but my children may, may have to be exposed to something that I might think is not, appropriate or whatever. So it depends on what it is. Some things I may not care about because I feel like it's maybe just for people who live over there or, subscribe to a certain particular thing. But some things really have an infringement on the way society is. Let me give you a quick example. I'm not too sure if you remember this situation where there was a Christian couple who they make cakes and, you know, their bakery.
I remember that.
Cool. And the gay couple came to them and said, yo, make me this cake. And they said, no, we don't feel comfortable. Our faith says X, Y, and Z. We don't feel comfortable. And they got in trouble for it. Or they sued them. I can't remember what happened at the end of the case. Like, to me, it doesn't affect me directly like that, right? But it affects me in a sense that, wait a minute, someone can tell a privately owned business what to do based on their personal beliefs. Like, that's crazy to me. You don't share my profit. You don't share my the money I put into this business. Why are you telling me that how you see the world is more important than what I do in my business? You know what I'm saying? That to me may not be a hill you die on, depending on what it is, but it's something that affects society going forward. You know what I'm saying? Where is free will?
Cool. I mean, I knew you would draw for some sort of Christian reference, but if you yourself question the veracity of the Bible,
Okay.
why would you look to have any weight in giving me a Christian reference? There's no weight in it. If you yourself question the veracity of the Bible.
Oh, you're talking about me personally, Emmanuel.
I'll be with you.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing. Why does that mean anything? It could have been a Hindu book. It doesn't matter.
No, but you didn't draw for the Hindi book. You draw for
I couldn't think of a Hindu example. Otherwise, I would have. It makes no difference to me at all. Like, even if it was a bloody literally anything, because it's not about that. It's just free will.
So, where does the concept of free will come from for you?
I feel like there's a mixture of things. I feel like it's just from man at some point in time observing the surroundings and recognizing that, wait a minute, I'm born alone, I'll die alone. And there's certain times in life where maybe having to subscribe to the overall idea of a community may have put certain people at risk. So people should have the freedom to decide whether or not I want to stay with the crowd or do my own thing. Plus, I feel like with time, we've also recognized that having free will is a benefit to society, because we've seen many times people break out of the mold and make society better. People have recognized that the world wasn't flat at some point in time. People have recognized that this, that, and the third were different things. And if they weren't allowed to have that free will and free thought, it would have compromised society. But it also comes from religious texts as well. You know what I'm saying? People believe in that same thing. But yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, guys. Block. What's up?
All right, can you call back again, please? I think your voice is a little bit distorted.
Cool. I'll call back.
Yeah. Yeah, like, to me, it's got nothing to do with any belief system. I'll defend anyone's belief in that regard. Connected? So, guys, 1 second. Just connecting the call.
All right, good morning. Good morning.
Morning, guys. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking still. Morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
We're doing fine, thank you. Go on.
Black over. Yeah, Brent. Earlier you said something about do you take a pause about your position when you see that the people that stand beside you are people that are kind of unsavory characters, right?
Yes.
Is that kind of like what you're saying?
Yes. Would he question his stance or his position?
I think I don't really agree with that argument, because a lot of the times,
as in you don't agree with the question?
Well, okay, it's a question, true. Sorry, it wasn't an opinion, it was a question. Yeah, because I think a lot of times people come to the conclusions as to why they believe something for different reasons. And sometimes people that are on the opposing side use that as like a shaming tactic to shut down the argument. So I use the example of, like, I know you were trying to talk about trans movement, but let's talk about Zionism, because that one's a little bit easier to digest in terms of this conversation.
What was I talking about?
Because you earlier talking about you started to talk to E-Man about the trans movement, but I wanted to use the example of Zionism.
No, brother. Before we move on, let me correct that. That wasn't where I was going. I'm in my head. I'm still like teasing for the gender roles conversation next week.
Yeah. All right. I'm having.
Go on.
Okay, I misunderstood that.
But yeah. So for example, you might be like, oh, I'm pro-Palestine or anti-Zionist because I'm against genocide and I want freedom for the Palestinian people, all that stuff, which is quite a noble reasoning as to why you came to that. And then you might be standing right next to someone that is anti-Zionist because they just hate Jews. And would you take pause in your position just because you're standing next to an unsavory character, but you have the same goals? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do believe that you can be the sole voice in an ocean, opposing your voice, and you wouldn't want to budge. I mean, I am an advocate of that, right? But what I'm asking of Emmanuel is, would he ever look at who is on the other side of the conversation and look who's around him saying the same thing and question whether his views are antiquated and needs review, or would he continue in that same mindset? That's that particular question I was posing to him. Is he open to change at all, or is he?
I agree with you that. But I think the question is a bit, I wouldn't say asinine, but because I think everyone should continuously question their position all the time.
That's so what you believe, right? I'm finding out whether Emmanuel holds to that same doctrine.
Right. Yeah.
Of course I do.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, you're posing that question to him, which is good. But as I said, I think it's a question that everyone should ask of themselves.
100%. But Emmanuel's the only person in this room with me.
In the room, yeah. I'm with you. And then also, you said something about, do you question yourself if you're on the right side, if you think that there's like, if you're in the minority or something like that? Is that what you said? Something like that? So if like bare people on one side and you're on this side by yourself, should that give you pause for concern as well? Is that kind of what I just want to make sure that was understood? Was that one of the part of the question you asked as well?
Yes, in my example, I had more people on my side than Emmanuel, but the people that he had on his side is what I was questioning. For example, if he had Hitler, if he had Stalin, if he had Barack Obama, if he had Boris Johnson, would he then be like, wait a minute, am I on the wrong side? And if he saw me and Stephen over here, I said myself and Stephen, I gave him references that he would like, wait a minute, these are reasonable people. And the people next to me, would he question that? It was very specific. Because I know I can't just say, if you had a few people over there and there were more people over here, would you change your mind? For me, I needed to give more context to the question.
Yeah. I also think that's actually fair because it depends on the type of person that you're bunching in. But I also think you should add to that equation, are they reasonable people? And also, what is their appetite for public scrutiny? Because I see very often that people that are very reasonable, very logical people will sometimes bend to the whim of the masses because they don't like the public scrutiny of being on the wrong side of whatever the narrative is at the moment. So like, I feel like I kind of have I would say I'm kind of similar to E-Man in a way where if I try to come to conclusions based off of logic, and if the argument for me to go to the other side is, there's more people on the other side, and they are, but then I look at the other side and it's a lot of people that are easily like, I don't know, I won't say manipulate because that's not the right word, but like, I got friends, for example, I have one-on-one conversations about very controversial topics.
Sorry, stop. You've gotten into your car, but something's changed.
They know to toe the line because they don't.
Playboy.
The person you're describing, so they will change their views in a public forum.
We missed that last 10 seconds.
Okay, sorry. I said I have friends that they share the same views as me on very controversial topics when we have one-on-one conversations, but in a public forum they will say whatever the prevailing narrative is because they haven't got the whatever that thing is to deal with scrutiny of being held to fire, having an opinion that's against the general public. So they will agree with me silently, but in group settings they will just go with the narrative because it's just less headache. And I understand where they're positioned from, and I wonder sometimes how many people there are like that. And then when you get in the group settings, let's say 80 people agree with whatever the prevailing narrative is, but in reality it's only like half of them that actually believe that, and the other half are just going with the Joneses because they just don't want problems. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think you'd accuse me of that too, though.
Yes, I do.
No, I know that he probably feels that way because he wants me to say what he would like to say.
No, I don't want you to say.
Of course you do, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have just answered my question. Yes, I believe you do that too, because you're believing I am holding my tongue. The views I have, you don't think that they are my views.
I believe it, but I don't know it for fact. As I said, I'm open to changing. See, I'm malleable. I'm not holding it as a truth. I believe
Look
it.
Look at this bendy stick. Look at this guy saying he's gonna twist left, right, and center. I'm not that dude, bro. I stick by my arguments.
I'm open to being wrong. See how that works?
Thank you very much for the contribution. I wish this was a long day that we can basically stretch this up, but we can't. But thank you very much, Black Rob.
That's up.
Bless. I appreciate when he calls in,
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Yeah. All right, let's push on.
All right, react. All right, guys, welcome to the reaction, man. Brent, it's the last day of the season, isn't it?
Today? Or you
Tomorrow.
mean the last game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the final day.
All right, let me go through the fixtures, and then I'll ask you 1-2 questions. So Arsenal's playing on Sunday. Arsenal's playing Everton. Brentford's playing Newcastle. Brighton versus Man U. Burnley versus Nottingham Forest. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Crystal Palace are going to be playing Aston Villa. Liverpool are going to be playing Wolves. Luton Town are going to be playing Fulham. Manchester City are going to be playing West Ham at home. And Sheffield United are going to be playing Tottenham Hotspurs. So, you're obviously aware of the league tables and whatnot, innit? Do you see any change?
As in,
to the position?
The only thing that matters is the Man City and Arsenal conversation, right?
Precisely.
Do I see...
Yeah, in that 1 or 2 position.
So, Man City plays West Ham.
Yes.
100% anything can happen. However, Man City's Man City, and they have a title that they need to win. I see them winning it.
Oh, man.
I see them beating West Ham.
Yeah.
It will be a shock to my system if they, as in West Ham, beat City.
Okay.
I believe they could even draw.
Oh, yeah. That's what I never saw that happening.
Good morning. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Eddie?
Good, thanks.
Congratulations on your mother's surgery. Was it all good?
Yes, yeah.
Amazing. What did she get done?
Her cataract surgery.
All right. That is amazing. That's amazing. And how are you feeling this beautiful morning, Eddie? And what's the time where you are right now?
It's 4:35.
Okay. And how are you feeling?
Good.
All right. I had a question for you yesterday, but I wasn't able to ask the question because I was distracted. Who is your favorite host?
My favorite host. You're actually my favorite host.
Oh, I love you too, bro. I love you too, bro. Who's your second favorite?
Esther, and also Emmanuel.
Why'd you like Emmanuel?
He's very cool.
I'm glad that you didn't mention Margs. Like, everybody who calls in would normally say Margs, but I like the fact that you didn't go with Margs. Why didn't you go with Margs? Why don't you like Margs?
I like him too.
I don't believe you, Eddie. You're like, huh,
It's
F it.
okay. It's okay with you not
I don't
believing
mind with you not liking it. That's cool. That's cool. What time is it is it New York?
Yeah.
What time is it?
4:37.
All right. So you should be fast asleep right now, Eddie.
Oh yeah, I was before. Yeah.
But you set your alarm to wake up to make sure that you watch TDA.
That's right.
Yes.
This is why I love you, Eddie. All right, Eddie, thank you very much for the call. We really appreciate your thoughts. In fact, did you listen to the topic of the day? Did you hear the question that was posed?
Oh yeah.
All right. Can you let us know what your thoughts are on the topic of the day?
Yeah. It's very interesting. I mean, I do believe that you have to, like you said, be aware of your audience.
Thank you very much. All right, Eddie, I want you to call in next week. We're going to have a couple topics that I would love to hear your opinion on. But thank you very much for calling, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.
You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie, man.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
I love Eddie, man.
Big up Eddie.
All the time.
Yeah, man.
All the time.
Big up all of our American listeners, man. Especially those that listen live, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is
Four
crazy.
something in the morning.
It is crazy. Shout out Stacey.
Yeah,
Beep, 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 beep.
Big up Eddie. Big up Stacey. Big up Shayla, man.
All the time. She'll come back.
So
So I not expecting anything, but if they draw, it could come down to a points thing. If Arsenal beat Everton, and that also that's not a given,
not guaranteed.
not a given at all. Yeah. Any other questions pertaining to those two teams?
Nah, not really.
All right,
man,
then.
Not really. The next thing I wanted to mention is just about the whole Forbes list in terms of the top athletes. Cristiano Ronaldo, man, he's topped it for the 4th time in his career. How much is this man earning? $260 million. So yeah, which is an all-time high for a footballer. His on-field earnings amounted to $200 million, while off-field he earned $60 million thanks to sponsorship deals where brands make use of his 629 million Instagram followers. I think he's got the most Instagram followers, isn't it?
Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah.
In the world?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I've heard that a few times.
Find out.
Like, I could be completely wrong. But yeah, 629 million. There's a golfer, I believe, by the name, I don't even know this guy, Ram. And he earned $218 million. And he joins Ronaldo as the only two athletes to earn over $200 million. Third on the list is the record 8-time Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah.
Yeah.
Messi got 3rd place. He earned 135 million. And yeah, man, 36-year-old earned 65 million on field and 70 million off field with deals for major sponsors like Adidas and Apple. LeBron James came in at 4th, 128 million. Yeah. Mbappe was in there as well. 6th place, 110 million. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Of course, before we move on, we've got to talk briefly about the Fury Usyk fight. Oh man, you know what the thing is? I feel this is even closer to call than the Spence and Crawford fight. Because like they always say, styles make fights, right? But Fury and Usyk style so different, and they're both great fighters, man. Usyk is just an elite champion, and if he can do this, he'll definitely go down as one of the greatest of all time. I feel like he's probably one of the greatest anyway, because of what he did, how he cleaned up the cruiserweight division, and also beat everybody in the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Beat AJ twice. He's a legend, man, and he's just got the IQ of an elite boxer. With Fury, as much as people feel like this guy is the greatest of all time, which is crazy to even say. He's definitely not. No disrespect to him. He's been in some great fights, man. The Wilder trilogy is great. Obviously, what he did to Klitschko, like how many years ago? It's like probably over 10 years ago now. That was a dominating performance. He just, you know what I'm saying? So he's the man, basically. No one has beaten the man has beaten the man. So Fury's still the lineal champion. So this would be crazy if Usyk can do that. But I just feel like Fury to me, he has the capacity, and I feel like he'll go in there and do what I think AJ should have done, which is use his size. The man's got like an 80-something inch reach. Man's like 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Usyk's like, I think 6'4" maybe. People dispute whether he's actually 6'9". He could be like 6'8", 6'7", but he's still huge. You know what I'm saying?
So he has no
84-inch reach.
business losing to Usyk.
It's easy to say that though, but Usyk is extremely skilled, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen boxers go in there in a ring with other people who are like much taller than them, much bigger reach advantage, and get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Like Mayweather, he did the same thing to Diego Corrales. Knocked him down 5 times. They had to stop the fight. And like Corrales was unbeaten at the time, much taller than Mayweather, longer reach than Mayweather. It was a fight that was like it was one of them pick'em fights. But look what Mayweather did. So I don't know, like Usyk has the capacity to do something crazy. And a part of me feels like Fury is nervous. It's one of the reasons why people didn't think this fight would actually happen. They feel like Fury's just like coming up with excuses to not fight Usyk. And Usyk is one of those, you know what I mean, Eastern European disciplined boxers. But it's tough, man. If I was to put money on it, oh man. For the longest while, I've been saying Fury will win. You know what I'm saying? A skillful big guy typically will beat a skillful smaller guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the advantage right there. But I'm not too sure if Fury is the same guy and if he will rise to the occasion like Usyk. But this is what makes the fight so amazing, because Fury is he's a natural born winner, man. He's never lost. Both of these guys know how to win. Both of them have faced adversity.
He has lost.
When?
Against that wrestler.
In Ghana.
Yeah.
He didn't lose the fight though,
He
man.
did. He should have.
It was tight.
It wasn't.
You think he lost the fight?
He even knew, and that's why he said, I wasn't training.
To be fair, he never said that. People said that, made up excuses for him. He said, no, I took the fight serious. I just, you know what I mean? I underperformed, I guess. But he can't come like that against Usyk. He can't perform like that. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'll be like literally 10 rounds to 2. So it's going to be a tough fight. But you know what? Something crazy could happen. You might get Usyk win by stoppage. You never know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the odds for that was crazy, it might be prudent to put down a little something there. You know what I mean? It might even be wise to put down, if you are a betting man, on a draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, the odds for a draw right now, if I'm not mistaken, is something like 18-1. And there's a lot of money riding on a part 2. So even if you think Fury won the fight or Usyk won the fight, the judges may give you a draw. You know what I'm saying? So we can get a part 2. So I don't know. That's not financial advice, guys, but yeah, do with it what you will. It's going to be a crazy fight, man. I'm really looking forward to it. The undercard is good as well. And yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know who's going to do it, man. I really don't know. Who you thinking?
Well, I want Usyk to win. Because I think the first time I ever saw Usyk is when I saw like a documentary of him preparing for a fight. I don't know who it was against, but I'm like, hey, this is good. I like how it is that he's stripping everything back when it's time to fight. Like, he goes out, not into the wilderness, but alone, and he just focuses on that discipline. He goes jogging, he comes back, he eats like rudimental type food and whatnot. He makes sure his diet is cut back and whatnot. And he spoke beautifully about the art of boxing, right? He paid respect to it. And I had never even seen him, throw a punch. I'm thinking, these are the fundamentals that if it was in any discipline, I would appreciate. And then he went in and I saw him moving. I'm like, ooh, this is great. So I want him to win. I really want him to win because I want Fury to be on the level of AJ, as in being humbled. So that people would, you guys have to fight though.
Yeah.
Before you guys would I beg you fight.
Funny you say that because a lot of people see it kind of from the other angle. Eddie Hearn, for example, was saying, I want Fury to win solely because I want it to be a Fury AJ fight. So if Fury loses, I guess he's thinking it might not be. You know what I'm saying?
I guess from that point of view, he would want him to be like, "Yep, I've clocked everybody." And for AJ to, if AJ beats him now,
Precisely.
AJ is the all right, cool. If
Precisely.
you've clocked Thanos,
Yeah.
then you should get the spoils
Yes.
forever. I think from his point of view, that's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Because few should turn around and be like, "Excuse me, that bum doesn't deserve me in the ring.
Yeah.
Doesn't deserve an opportunity to even fight me."
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're taking IBF after the IBF heavyweight title from whoever wins because of the rematch. I believe because I think you're meant to then fight your mandatory. And IBF, they're pretty strict. This is why they took the IBF from Crawford. This is why they've taken the IBF from. They've done it. They've been consistent, to be fair to the IBF. So yeah. So that means that AJ might be fighting for the IBF title against, I don't know, one of these other heavyweights next time AJ's fighting, which would mean that if Fury does win and then holds the other belts, you may get a fight for Undisputed again with AJ coming to the table with the belt. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I'm really looking forward to it, man. I hate the sitting on the fence thing. So, Fury is the guy I'm thinking is going to win. But if you ask me to put money on it, I would put money on Usyk winning, which is crazy. I think that kind of speaks to me thinking Usyk will edge it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like Fury will come there. This is also crazy. It may sound silly. But if Fury goes in there and does the eye thing that he does, which is the looking down at his opponent in the ring, he's winning the fight. He's winning the fight. Then that means to me, the Fury that he needs to be is in the ring. If he goes in there looking away, trying to be focused, look at Usyk, like one of them ones that some boxers do, Usyk's winning that fight.
I don't know. Only because I live in a world where a wrestler beat him. And they cheated that wrestler. They cheated him. And then AJ came and handled the wrestler.
Yeah, going mad at it.
Do you understand? So to suggest as though it was because he didn't train, how could you lose so much? How can you lose so much with not training properly? And the thing is, he was supposed to fight another person, right?
Who?
Fury was supposed to fight another person in that time.
Who was he meant to fight?
And it got cancelled. And then he's like, all right, cool, I will accept this wrestler.
Was it meant to be Usyk? I can't remember.
I don't think it was.
No.
But whoever it was, it dropped out. I might be making this up. I don't know.
I think it was after, because he was meant to fight Usyk afterwards. Then they cancelled that, because it was meant to happen in December. But after that performance with Ngannou, they cancelled it. Then they were meant to fight in February, I believe. Then he got a cut. It's February or April? Yeah, it's February, I think. Then he got a cut. Then he cancelled it again. And this is why, yeah.
Obviously, I'm not a boxer. I don't know about the discipline. I guess Kevin Thompson could basically speak to this. But I thought that he had too much power from the recent decapitated boxers to not train and for it to have such a fall off that he gets beaten by a wrestler. For me, that doesn't make any sense, right? And what it just shows me is they're chinks, right?
Yeah.
That AJ could possibly beat him if something happens, right? Bang! Because when he fought that wibbly wobbly man with the swingers 3 times.
Oh, Wilder.
Yeah. There was a time where if Wilder could stand on his feet, he could have won. You understand?
100%.
So Usyk, for me, how I've seen Usyk, that guy is a tactician.
100%.
And he's focused all the time. Do you understand? So I think that if Usyk wins, I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah.
I can't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because all of the fundamentals are there.
100%.
And if Fury wins, I guess I can't be surprised either because you expect it to win.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the beautiful thing about it is whoever wins will put up a masterful performance. That's what I think. We've seen Usyk be susceptible to body shots, right? It's not just the Daniel Dubois fight. It was against AJ. It was against Better Be in the amateurs, all the way back to the amateurs, you know. Usyk has been susceptible to body blows. He don't like them. But I think he's a crafty fighter. But I think he meets his match with Fury being an even more craftier fighter. Fury will use his size, will lean on him, will hold him, will punch him into the side in the clinches, and if he targets the body as well, it's tough. It's gonna be crazy. But I think you're right. If Usyk can kind of stay away from them sort of tactics, which would be tough though, because he has to get in close to fight Fury. It's not AJ. Fury's not gonna fall for the same tricks as AJ trying to fight skill for skill like that. Fury's an intelligent fighter, man. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
All right.
But that's pretty much it, man.
All right.
Let's go into our outro.
All right. Just remember, next week we're also possibly going to do a topic of the day about bullying. Would you rather be a bully or a victim, right? And when it is that we were going through that video of the father and we segued into the conversation about bullying, there were a lot of people saying that they hate bullies. There were a lot of people expressing their dislike for the art of bullying. So at no point in time do I want to see in the chat that anybody is bullying. And they different forms, by the way. Different forms of bullying, right? So be guided. Be guided. Rise above every single urge, every single spirit that tugs at you to take that beat.
Yes.
Be guided.
100%.
All right.
Before we go to Brent, let's just tell the people we got some guests next week.
Yes.
I don't think this will be like some of the previous. It only happened once where there was a flop.
Yeah.
I think these guests will definitely be here.
Yeah.
Dr. Mani.
Yeah. Dr. Mani. I'm not by my songboard, so I beg you. Dr. Mani. I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Yep.
Because it's going to be, it's Mental Health Month.
It is. Indeed.
And she's going to come through and give us the words of wisdom and test us and make sure that we have what we need to be prepared.
True
these type of conversations. But
true indeed.
There'll also be
Mr. Money Jar.
Mr. Money Jar.
Yes, so you guys, I know you guys was misbehaving yesterday when our guest came.
Why were they so irate with a guest's opinion? Is it because it mirrored yours?
If I say what I want to say, but
no, I would like you to say you're in the outro, and it's the end of the week.
No, do you know what it is? I'm not gonna say it, but I think people really don't like it when black people don't like when black people seem to not favor Labour. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Benedicta said anything that was crazy. Of course, people think that's just my view anyway. But for her to say, and I think this is where people really felt some type of way, when she said that Labour, she believes the policies of Labour encourages laziness. Is that really something that's really that bad? You know what I'm saying? Like if she believes that, what's the big deal? Like we've seen countless people take advantage of the benefit system. She's not saying everyone is lazy who's on benefits. She's not saying that at all. But she's saying that sometimes we have a system that encourages it, that enables that sort of behavior. I've worked for the council. I've said this on the show before. I've sat down with black people because you people know I love black people more than life itself. I've sat down with women who are obviously claiming benefits and they've complained to me about how much benefits they're getting. And I've pulled out calculators because I have the time for them. And I say, yo, how much are you getting? This is how much you're getting, rather, because I can see it on the system. What is your expenditure? Tell me. Minus this, minus this, minus this, minus this. Cool. Right now, it says you're left with £300, for example. Yeah? And I said, look around. There's many people in here who are working 9 to 5, working hard, and many people out there who are getting their wages, minus the expenses, don't have £300 left over. You are not working. Respectfully, you are not working and you're left over with £300. The benefit system is not there to give you money to save. It's to help you through a transition. If, for example, you're able to find work at some other given time. So in some sense, in some cases, it does enable that. And I don't blame people because if you're paying me the same amount of money that I can get from working a 9 to 5 and I can stay at home with my children and maybe just work 8 hours here, there, and you know what I'm saying, all over the place, why wouldn't you stay at home? You know what I'm saying? I think that's what she's speaking to. So, but again, I think people kind of saw it as it was a general cloak over everybody who supports Labour, everybody who's kind of working class. And I just don't think that's what Benedicta was saying. But yeah. Who's in the call?
Me.
Picked up. Morning.
Yeah, it's me.
Ramsey.
Yes.
What are you saying, man? Speak to us.
You're wrong.
Okay, tell me why people
It
was
wasn't.
upset.
I don't think it was just the Labour stuff. I feel like you're just kind of packaging it up all easy.
I mean, Fernand said it right there. She said Labour encourages laziness and was sending for people on benefits. That was literally what it said.
She said that she saw that from the sun. So she said that we were like, all right, what are we doing here?
What do you mean?
What's really happening? She said she saw articles from the Sun stating Labour was encouraging laziness. She quoted the Sun. She didn't really have much statistics. So that was one where we were all like, all right, something's going on. And then she, when she said that, she also failed to understand that there's been money wasted because she said she wanted business-like minded people to run the country, right?
Say that again, so I didn't hear the last bit clip.
She said she wanted business-minded people to run the country.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. But then she also failed to see the dark side of that, which is all of the politicians giving contracts, PPE contracts to their friends because they're also business-minded people and they're using money and public funding. Go on.
Yeah, corruption, 100%.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said correction.
No.
We ended up wasting billions on that. So it was the framing of it all. Personally, that had me a bit like, what are we really talking about?
Yeah, but I don't think that she
hold on, last thing.
Yeah,
last thing is that she, to me, from what I got from watching the show yesterday, is that she spoke from a place of privilege. So it's always easy to say, oh, one should do this, one should do that, when she already owned a property with big help from my mum, when there's other people that don't have that. So that was where I was like, yeah, she's an accountant, she gave really sound advice, it was sick. But then as soon as she started talking about, there's laziness and if you just do this and you save money, it kind of seemed like she wasn't recognizing her own privilege. That was another reason why I was a bit like, a bit standoffish with it.
Well, you know how I feel about the whole privilege thing, innit? I don't get it.
But the argument you and I had outside of the podcast is very different. She had money from her mum to buy her first property.
No, I hear that, but independent of our conversation, like with the whole privilege conversation, you can't. That's not a conversation you can win. People who don't have what another person have will always say they are privileged. So it's relative. It's no point in even debating it. However,
what's the relative part by what? If she's had help, she already is on a not pedestal. What's another word? She's already in a position in which she can. She's got a head start.
I get what you're saying.
She's had a head start. That itself is objectively a privilege. There's no.
Compared to those who didn't have the head start.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's relative. So because compared to somebody else who was given mansions, it's not a privilege. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say to you. At any given stage in an argument about privilege, you'll find somebody. I remember having this conversation on the show about a year ago when I said, wait a minute. If I just have the wisdom, right, or the knowledge of a particular thing, right, and then I can use that to maybe better myself, that's a privilege. That's what someone said to me. That's a privilege because I'm aware of something.
Because you put in that work to get that knowledge, to gain that skill.
Yes, whatever
if
it
someone
is.
Has given,
whatever
if someone has given you something based on their hard work, but you're benefiting off someone else's hard work, that is a privilege.
I'm telling you what I was told on the show, where I was told that. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is what I'm saying to you. Like about a year or so ago, we were talking about this privilege thing, right? And I said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me, right? Because I know more than a person, right? I've come from whatever background I've come from, you know what I'm saying? Working class, this, that, and the third. But because I know something else or know more or whatever, I have knowledge of a particular subject, I'm privileged. And if that's the case that you're pretty much using to back up this whole privilege thing, then it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? This is why I don't get into the whole privilege debate. But that aside, I don't remember her quoting the Sun. She may have referenced the Sun, but she didn't quote the Sun, right? It may sound like semantics, but it's important. And number two, the whole thing about the PPE thing, I don't think she was basically saying that there's no corruption. Remember, she didn't really elaborate on the pros and cons of business people running the country. She didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's a bit unfair to kind of make it seem as though she was saying something crazy. Because remember, the whole thing wasn't about her coming to talk about her economic views. It was more so just about finance, budgeting, and taxes.
Yeah, that's that. All that was sick. Like I feel like a lot of people could benefit from that. Where I think it turned left is when she started talking about her political views. I get her point of view. It was telling because she spoke about idealistically that the country should be run by business people, but we've been living in the negative effects of people who are business-minded running the country for 13 years.
Of course.
So the whole thing, and there wasn't a lot of pushback. You were just in your element, and you just had someone say stuff that you slightly agreed with, and you were gassed. And I feel like there wasn't enough pushback.
Firstly, you know, it's not about me being gassed. You know, I don't need anybody to co-sign my views. I'm very secure.
No, but you still enjoy it. You still lap it up, though.
No, not necessarily. It was just like, okay, somebody said something, and they're saying their perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's pros and cons. If a socialist government runs a country, there'll be people out there saying this is foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if a purely capitalist government runs a country, there'll be people saying it's foolishness as well. Like, there's pros and cons to every economic school of thought. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, she wasn't going into it like that. If that was the case, then we could have obviously found the holes in it. And I'm pretty sure she would agree that nepotism can definitely be a terrible thing. A part of me is thinking she may have even touched on it, though. I just can't remember the reference, though. But yeah.
No, that was it. Because I wasn't touched back. I don't think that was. If I'm speaking for everyone, that was what bothered them. That's what kind of bothered me.
Well, I think that was you, though. To be fair, a lot of people in the chat. This is why I quoted what Fernand said. He said this is more so about Labour encouraging laziness. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it seemed like that's where it stemmed from. You know what I'm saying? And the chat agreed and repeated it when I asked in the chat yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, everyone's different. Some people like are perpetual benefit claimers and they don't need to. It may not sound nice what I just said, but it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact, right? But there's some people, but benefits is necessary. You know what I'm saying? And so it is just what it is. But people just don't like hearing absolutes about certain things. You know? But yeah, maybe one day, maybe when you're next in, we can get into the whole, like, you know, should business owners run countries and things of that nature. But yeah, man. Thank you, Mr. Ramsey.
I'm done. All right, let me leave you up. All right, love.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, Christy even said, she said, Rishi's a smart man. Please let me know everything. Why do you think Rishi's not a smart man? The man went to LSE, man. Like, you know what I mean? Got economics degree and all sorts. Anyway.
It's stuff like this, right? So, Christy, are you saying he isn't a smart man? Because that comment suggests that, right?
Yeah, it does.
I'm not being obtuse reading a comment like that, right? So I would like Christy to call in and tell us why he isn't a smart man. That's a call out, Christy. And I was asking for a lot because I was seeing a lot of people going, and I was begging them. Myself and Marks were begging them to call in. Nobody wanted to call in. Nobody even wanted to act the day after for me to put a question up on the screen, right?
Yep.
I'm like, well, y'all want this, so I'm going to give it to y'all. Emmanuel and this young lady are going to be Spider-Man, and you're going to basically enjoy it. Because nobody seemed to care enough to get involved. Do you understand? It can't always be me. I get tired sometimes. In fact, I was sleeping. I was nodding off. I went to bed at 4 a.m. Margs had a long evening, and he said as much. I am tapped out. So our brains were compromised. So he said, chat, I beg you, help us. And we pleaded and pleaded. Nobody answered the call. Nobody.
Yep.
And now today they want to rage. Y'all know Emmanuel was there rubbing his hands. Birdman. He didn't slip up. Each time she finished talking, he's like, I got another question. In fact, can you ask another question? Before you go, can you answer? And y'all just had him do it. I'm
No,
so
but
disappointed.
You know what the thing is, Ben? I was asking those questions because I really believe that a lot of people in our community would benefit from her knowledge. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why I invited her on the show. She's a finance professional expert. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us could benefit from knowing about credit reports and things of that nature.
I don't have the songboard, so I can't go to. All right, tell us why you think he's not a smart man.
No, the way she said, "Oh, and Rishi is a very smart man." That was very overexcitable for me. Like the way she said it, like I'm thinking, wait, hold on. In smart man, in what sense? Because the way the country's been run right now, Iman, you even know conservative have been like, come on, these years of conservative reign have been in the bin. Like, so to say that he's a smart man in the sense that, okay, he can be a smart man, but the way the country's being run right now is been run into the ground.
But
that's why I just thought her saying that, I was just like, okay, are we living the same? Well, I don't know. I was like, I don't understand. Like, are we going through the same things? Like, are we seeing what's happening in the country? For her to be like the way she said it, so overexcitable to me, was just like, okay. I'm sorry. To me, she came across like a black Lin May, and I said it in the comment yesterday. She came across as a black Lin May, and I'm not for the whole. I'm neither Labour nor Conservative. Let's be clear. I don't even give it right now. I don't really see. I feel like, look, Conservative people are defecting. MPs are defecting to Labour. Like, I don't really see. There's no differentiation to me. Like, there's not really the way they've treated Diana. But I don't really see anything, to be honest. I don't think there's a clear distinction. So I'm not for either party. Let's be clear. But I feel like certain things how she was coming across. I don't think it was more of this whole thing of black people and Labour. I get, yes, black people. There's a hold on black people and Labour. I'm not saying that, but I think people in the comments were more so like, the way she just kept on saying, "Oh yeah, and black people this, and black people do this, and black." I don't think that to me was very like, that was a very like Tory, like she might as well be Kemi Badenoch. I'm glad she's married to a black man, but she might as well have been like the way she was coming across. That's how it came. Like, she gave sound advice when it came to the finance thing, 100%, as Ramsey said already. But I just feel like the way she was just coming across, it was kind of like, girl, like. And I just thought, you had to be Nigerian, didn't you?
And this is the interesting part of what I gleaned from her conversation, a whole dialogue with you yesterday, right? You know, there are black people. Let's just say both major parties weren't the same.
We're the same.
Weren't the same.
Okay.
Because they are the same.
Facts.
Right? They are the
right
same.
then.
They do not serve us. None of them serve us, right? Let's just imagine if that wasn't the case.
Okay.
I think we would have a completely different conversation. We're going to be having a completely different conversation because it would just be on the merit of, all right, if none of y'all are racist who are in power, what are y'all actually doing to build this economy of ours, right? As in the black community. And that's what it should always boil down to, as you said. Who is serving us the best, right? Because we know both of them are racist, but who, based on their policies, are going to help us build what we need to build so that we don't have to rely on this, that, and the next. Now, I don't know all of her political views. I don't know if she is like a Kemi Badenoch. Just to say that because she is in support of Tories, that she is like Kemi, I think that is unfair. One, because she mentioned that she's like a landlord. She owns properties and she rents this and next. So in her business mind, whatever policy is going to benefit my pocket and my family's pocket so I can be buying land back home, I am going to be voting for them. Very, very selfish in that extent. And the same way, when you go in here and you tell people, we need to look after ourselves. Yeah. So whoever's going to be giving us what we need to build what we need to do so that we're independent of them, we need to vote tactically in that sense, right? Facts. Now, I know it's hard. It's difficult for people to side with a party who is currently in power, who has been in power for the last 13 years, and who's responsible for the demise that we are currently in, right? 100% I understand that. And that's why they need to be shifted.
Yeah.
They cannot get another term because they have been in power and we've seen the calamity. So 100% they should be shifted. But for this young lady, like I said, I don't know her.
Yeah.
But I from what I've heard so far, I don't think it's fair to put her in that same bucket as a Nana, as a Kwesi,
I didn't say Nana.
and as a Kemi.
I didn't say them.
I think
I didn't say them. I even said she's a black May because that's exactly there were certain aspects of what she was saying where like she was regurgitating talking points as you said she referenced the sun, but that's like talking points that the other side referenced, and I'm just kind of like, oh, it just didn't sound good. It was very like it just didn't sound good, and I'm not alone in feeling that. Most of the chat felt like that. So we're not like just picking up from thin air.
Do you question Emmanuel's love for the black community?
No, I don't.
But yet he parrots the same stuff she was parroting. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see where my conflict stands? My conflict lies. If you've said that you can't question his love and adoration, commitment to the black community,
Yeah, but we know Iman is conservative leaning, so we know this.
but you would embrace him. You would embrace him, right?
He's from the standpoint of economics is life.
So you would embrace him, wouldn't you?
Whatever the politics aligns with what is trying to get black people further.
100%. So you would embrace him.
He was really championing her. So that's why there was no pushback from what he.
I'm not trying to trick you, baby. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not. All I'm trying to say is the people who are fighting this particular battle, who's on the left and the right side of you in this particular war, look like Emmanuel too. And you will trust him by your side. And he was parroting the same thing she was parroting. You wouldn't trust a Kemi by your side, but you're not saying Emmanuel's Kemi. What I'm trying to say is she looks more.
I said she's a black May.
This is what I'm trying to say. She looks more like Emmanuel than she looks like Kemi. This is my point. And you're saying she looks more like Lin May. And Lin May, I wouldn't trust her by my side. You wouldn't trust Lin May by your side. And this is what I am contesting. This is what I'm contesting.
But we ain't going to go into that.
I love you.
I love you too. I wish I could have been there today, but...
Yeah. But thank you very much. I hope you have a fantastic weekend.
See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye. And yeah, Maggie says she questions you.
Maggie, don't you dare.
She questions you.
You know I'm pro-black to the core. If I was to really expose my pro-blackness, you lot in the comments will be scared for life. You lot will question your reason for existing if you really knew how pro-black I was. Facts right there. So and please don't.
Bathroom Diary says Iman doesn't come across like he is better than other people, though.
I don't think I am. I love it. Man, big up Bathroom Diaries, man. Don't listen to Brett's laugh. But yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, so we were talking about our guests, innit?
Yeah.
So Mr. Manager will be coming in. So guys, if you've got any questions about finance related questions, it will be a very informative interview, man. Like these guys are super, you know what I'm saying? Like educated, informed. They know what they're talking about. I have so much respect for Mr. Manager. So guys, please get your questions ready. And on Friday we got a guest as well, Brent, right?
Yeah, I'm glad that Chim said that.
What happened?
Not Chim's, Izzy Bambino. I still remember those days when you basically told everybody, hey, I'm the only person allowed to talk on these matters because I'm most educated.
I never said any of that,
most educated.
Defend me, man.
You simpletons who are kept and stay in your darkness and your being lost. All of y'all, y'all don't deserve to be going where it is that we're going. 100% I remember you doing that, like vehemently. But people have selective memory when it comes to you. Crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that magic that you sprinkle over them?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're saying that he doesn't feel he's above other people.
No, I don't, man.
That's why I giggled.
Me and all us black people, we are the same, man. You know what I'm saying? I want all of us to be at the promised land.
Mm-hmm.
Friday we have a guest, right?
Yes. He is a DJ.
Yes, he is.
And he is coming. He specifically wants to talk about a particular thing that he's going through in Dubai over there. I think he may have heard one of our episodes. I don't know whether it was a clip that was going around, but it's gonna be a fantastic conversation nonetheless. So we have a jam-packed week, even though the melanin wouldn't be jam-packed, as Maggie suggests. Emmanuel
Impossible.
is being questioned.
Impossible.
Make sure you guys tune in. Oh, hello, Rebecca. She's here. Somebody said something yesterday that made me laugh. I think it was Vaughn. It might have been Vaughn. He talked about Rebecca and the fact that, she isn't here anymore since your your madness. I don't know if we will ever forget that.
Big up Rebecca, man. That's my sister, man. Listen,
I love Rebecca.
the critical thinking days. Listen, I feel like I've changed for the good, though, right? To be more, palatable and whatnot.
Malleable as black
No,
represents?
palatable.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
More
I'm
understanding.
still the same me, but just trying to, not tell people to use their critical thinking too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did say I might not speak English. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're right, Ed. You're right. He said we do not have the capacity. 100%. 100%.
Oh man, I
Terrible.
apologize. I'm a changed man now, man.
Wow. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We tried our best. Please tune in next week. It's going to be a packed one.
100%, man. Have a good weekend, guys.
Later.
Peace.